going on, everybody? This is the one and only, the Big Cheese, your host, Will
Yes, sir.
March of The Way We See It. And I am with a group of some of my best friends tonight who are laughing in the background at me right now. We've got Luke Smith
What's
out of
up?
Wendell. Luke, you with us?
Yeah, for sure. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. And see you now, for those of you joining us on video. We have the Devon Sharp out of Greensboro. Devon, you there?
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Awesome. And we have Cody Myers that's where my intro ends, because Cody, what city are you in?
Burlington, North Carolina.
There we go. I knew it was somewhere in between here and there.
Was it out by Graham?
Yes.
That's all out of man. So
what's up, Will?
Hey, y'all. So thank y'all for joining me tonight. I know that we all live in different worlds and different cities, as we just established. But I know a ton of stuff has been happening, and we've all been doing a ton of stuff. So wanted to get up with y'all so we could kind of recap from this week. First off, I'm hearing a bunch of noise over at Luke. Luke, what's going on with you?
Well, I just got home from a meeting and learned a lot of new stuff this week, which we'll dive into in a little bit, I'm sure. But yeah, not a whole lot of farm life.
I hear you. Devon, Cody.
Not much. We just got home. Just hanging out, really.
I hear you.
A little bit of disc golf today.
Did y'all go do that tournament? I know we were talking about making a video about going out there and doing that, but how'd that go?
Well, as usual, I was victorious on the disc golf course.
Hey, Devin actually, and Cody can give me props. I've come a long way.
Devin did do a lot better than he normally would. He made me proud out there, but he's still got a long way to go, but he's getting better.
Yeah, good for you guys. So, well, thank y'all for being here. Luke, circling back to you, you were saying a moment ago about you were coming from a meeting. I mean, you're kind of our political correspondent here. Can you update us on that for the week? I mean, to be honest, I pulled my head out of it a little bit since Biden has been president, and maybe I shouldn't have, but you always are kind of right on point with the agenda of what is happening this week there.
Well, we've learned a lot about the school board and what's going on with the superintendent and where all our money's going and stuff like that. And
can you give us like a 60-second? Yeah, can you give us like a short recap of that real quick?
Yeah, so pretty much they're asking for resources for social emotional learning, which they're going to bring in doctors to the schools. And North Carolina is a zero age state, so at any age they can be given medicine. So they're going to start asking your kid, how has their week been? Have they felt anxious? Have they been stressed out? Is everything going good at home? So essentially, sooner or later, they'll be able to drug test your kids. You're signing waivers for that in public school. Then they'll be able to administer your kids drugs without you knowing or anything like that, including puberty blockers and stuff like that. So really, it's just a bunch of stuff going on, and they're asking for more funding and CRT and stuff like that. But I'll know more a little later this week.
I hear you. Luke, real quick, can you walk a little bit closer to maybe, do you have a Wi-Fi hotspot where you're at, or it was just getting a little bit glitchy? I want to make sure we can hear everything you're saying.
Where did it disconnect at?
Well, it was just a few times. Maybe if you had a hotspot at your house, I wanted you to get closer to that versus further away. No, that's interesting though. So I have a follow-up question there. It was glitching out a little bit, but we heard 98% of it. Did you say that there something about a waiver? So parents, you're saying with how legislation is going, or the school board's passing a rule that they're pushing parents to sign a waiver, which I guess would be a consent for treatment in the school system, so they can then provide psychiatric treatment
that's happening right now in Illinois in private schools. All the private schools have banded together and decided to all teach critical race theory and social emotional learning, SEL. And now you can't go to any school in Illinois without learning that. So it's coming here soon.
Really? This is what? So yeah. I've never heard of something like this. I mean, so they're, but this isn't, just to be clear. So even though they're already doing this, they're trying to push this for North Carolina, and they can't do it to your child unless you actually sign the paperwork.
No, North Carolina is a zero age state. They need no paperwork to be. And you don't have to, right when they're born, teenager do not have to give their parental any consent. Their parental doesn't need consent for any drugs.
Well, it looks like my boys are going to be doing asphalt. They don't need school.
Well, I mean, or private schools, which is a solution to the whole public school problem.
Yeah, but if Illinois, they're banding together to all teach the same thing that they're teaching in public school, then you really can't get out of it there.
Now, I have a question. I understand the whole zero age thing, but how would they be allowed without the parents' consent to give a child anything without, for one, letting you know, and for two, without the child being 18 years old to where they make it?
Because there's this powerful thing in the state called the General Assembly that huddles together and makes laws that are greater than we are. No, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your question, Devin. But I think that was for Luke. But
no, I mean, that's exactly right, though. I mean, when it comes down to it, the pressure's not being put where it needs to be put, and our elected officials who are Republican are being led astray by other people, and they aren't seeing it.
Wait, so is the state school board a majority Republican or Democrat, or is it balanced even at this point?
We're a red state right now, but it's just about even. On our superintendent's Republican. You wouldn't know, but yeah, she is
a rhino.
Yeah, 100%.
Are we allowed to say that? Wait, hang on. Are we allowed to say that on the show? I know we try to keep profanity and other adult content out of it, but some people get offended by the word rhino. So I just want to make sure.
If you get offended, you're probably a rhino.
Yeah, that's true. I think it ought to be okay, because if you get offended, that makes it stink. It's not a good thing to be a rhino. If y'all don't know what we're talking about, rhino is an acronym within the Republican Party that is used for people who are. Again, it's an acronym for Republican in name only, and if you don't know
that.
Oh, that's what it stands for. It's rhino is an acronym for Republican in name only.
Wow.
RINO. So that's a pretty good one, but it's kind of like an elephant, but like a little more ugly. They cause more damage.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. So that was deep what we just got off on. I mean, Cody, Devin, what do y'all think about that?
It's really throwing me off of like pretty much what Devin said. The parents, and especially on mine, Devin's behalf of being a parent, that's kind of weird. You don't even have to give consent, and that's.
Yeah, I want to hear.
You honestly would never know.
Yeah, y'all are the two parents on the show with young kids.
If I didn't tell you right now, you probably wouldn't know when it happens. For real.
Well, Devin, how old is your oldest?
My oldest is 4 years old.
Okay, so like as soon as like next year, he could be susceptible to like this kind of stuff.
Correct. Which means
if you look at the pre-K books right now, have you looked up the Mexican daughter book or Mexican father book? I think it's called. The literal name of it. Insane.
I was about to say that. Good.
It was made by the people who make up CRT, and they want to teach kids about their genitals and how it feels when you touch them. But the weird part is about that also is that a grown man in the book, I believe, is portrayed to be telling the kid that.
Oh yeah, this is weird. I'm looking at this now. I don't know, Cody and Devin, Google this. Yeah, it's I'm Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter is the name of it.
What the hell is our country coming to? I'm about to move to damn China. Fuck the coronavirus.
I'm not sure China would be better.
No need to move. It's coming to you.
Hey, remember, Devin, if you move to China, you got to give up one of your kids. In China, you can only legally have, one child, right?
No, you're allowed to have two now.
Oh, is it? They're reformed.
It's a boy.
Yeah, Huh.
So that would actually stop my wife from encouraging us to have a third. So that would be double win.
I don't know. The China virus must have really got a hold of their population there the last 2 years.
Yeah. Yep.
Because Trump always called it the China virus. Wow. No, that's interesting. So, Luke, if you would, I know that y'all stay up to date with kind of what's going on through Education First Alliance. Keep us updated with this. It would be interesting to hear if North Carolina Public Schools moved to providing psychiatric treatment for adolescents without the consent or the knowledge of parents. Not only would that be a political firestorm, and I could see that kind of getting washed under the news, at least when it comes to WRAL here out of Raleigh.
They're pushing it in critical race theory terms and stuff like that, and they're trying to change critical race theory to like coachably responsive training and stuff like that.
could you define that for us real quick? So when you say critical race theory, what is the definition of that our school board system is looking at that as, and then henceforth teaching it?
That if you are, mainly if you're a young white boy, you're better off in life. You are born with a big advantage, and if you are any other race, or if you're a woman or anything like that, that's not a white male, then you're pretty much put down. You were born with a broken leg, pretty much. You gotta have to play catch up.
So the new generation is going to be raised up being taught that we're racist now. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, everything you tell them at home, they're gonna go to school and learn that you were lying, which you weren't lying, but that's what they're gonna hear.
What's that dog upset about, Luke?
Oh, dude,
he's upset about the conversation too. I mean, he's one of us.
Hey, so real quick, all right, so this is interesting, and while we are on deep-seated subjects about what the government is doing, thanks to Luke, I got a question for y'all. So ironically, out of the blue, our man, Luke knows who I'm talking about, over at the Raleigh Living Arts College, just texted me and asked if we would be willing to meet him in the studio on Wednesday at 4 to do another Declassified. What do y'all say?
I'm with it. I'm down.
Yeah, let's do it.
Does he have a topic?
Yes. The topic is going to be, hang on, I got it right here.
This one's got a screen on the side right there.
Hang on, I'm still going through here. Yeah, okay, I got it. Yeah, we were going to do Operation MK Ultra, or at least Eric, I think, wanted to start into what the CIA and the Russians were doing, like during the Cold War, and then that kind of goes into Operation MK Ultra and like the mind washing and brainwashing experiments that we were conducting at that time. So it's a really interesting subject. It's really, really wild. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, if y'all know a little bit about it, we have a master that is just can find things that nobody else knows that is going to be with us, talking with us about it. So that's actually, Devon, isn't that how you and Cody came to us? Is y'all were Declassified fans?
Yeah, Cody randomly sent me one day. He's like, dude, Will has a podcast.
Yeah, Luke, that's how we got these guys. Is they were part of the Declassified following base. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, hilarious.
Like Devon said, I sent it to him one day because I'd seen it, and I just happened to see your name, and you had just told me your full name the day before that, so I was like, kind of like, it was like deja vu. Okay, I know this guy. Let's see what this is. And so I watched it, and I listened to about half of it, so I sent it to him, and then for like 2 weeks, we was listening to it on the way to and from work, just trying to catch up with, trying to catch up on everything. And then, we just kind of got brought onto the show. It was actually pretty cool.
Nice. Well, thank you guys for being here again. It was ironic. The college texted me right now. It's they're in North Raleigh, at kind of like where Falls the Noose intersects with Capitol Boulevard. They always book out the studio from us from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So people like Luke and him and Jessica, if she can get there and start working on stuff early. And then I'm usually the last person there, because we all work and. So I go when we finish whatever job we're at, and then, we go for an hour or two. We would love to have you guys join us this week, too, if y'all are able. So,
just the only have Ricky Powell.
Oh, that's right. Well, you got 2 days to figure that out, Devon.
And Lucas.
Hey, we can ask Lucas or Ricky to drive separately, and then,
Yeah.
I'm down.
Go talk to Newcomb and get him to fork out some more pickups.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
not for either of those two.
Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't trust neither one of those two with a vehicle.
Yeah, well, we'll get off that rabbit hole before we put our foot in our mouths and get ourselves in trouble there. Luke, thank you for being with us tonight, and for sharing with us about critical race theory, and for sharing with Devon and Cody and I about what is approaching our public school system here. Back in 2018, I ran for school board, and even then, and that was in Guilford County in Greensboro, and that wasn't even a subject then. At the time, the biggest fight and the biggest controversy was the charter schools getting big and all the money being allocated to charter programs and public schools fighting for the money, and people were picking sides, but it's wild. So, you guys have anything else for us tonight? We'll go around real quick, starting with you, Luke, since you let us off.
No, that's it for me, man.
Very good. Well, thank you for being here. Real quick, how do people get up with you if you want to drop your website or your social media handle?
You can look me up on Facebook, Luke Smith.
Very good. Well, thank you, Luke. Devin, next to you. You got anything else for us?
No, man, but there was a little something I wanted to touch on.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I just want to give this cutie that's dressed up, the Big Cheese, a shout out right here. Go check him out. He's here 7 days a week. And he is the cheese meister. But just y'all can tune in to Cody Meyer's Snapchat. It's CM in the AM, featuring myself also, the average noodle. We do it in the mornings and afternoons, on and or to and from work. Obviously not at work. That'd be kind of
you do
sometimes. But
I'll leave a comment in the bottom and give my actual Snapchat. But as far as YouTube, you can look me up, see him in the AM.
Bam. And then you can find
no PM on that.
No, I kind of just throw the PM in there when we do a video in the afternoon. But the official name ended up to be CM in the AM.
I hear you. Awesome. Well, thank you all for being here tonight. We're going to keep this show up. We want to hear from you guys. It varies between being longer or shorter each week, depending upon how much we have to talk about. But again, we want to include you. So we'd love to hear from you. Y'all can check us out at willsworldchannel.com or on YouTube by searching, Will's World Podcast and Audio, or on Apple Podcasts. So thank you guys. We'll be back next week. All of us here. Later. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Hey.